Hello and welcome back. I'm Dr. Fernanda Oliveira, board certified urologist, and on this channel we talk honestly about the things that matter most to men over 50. Your energy, your confidence, and yes, your intimate health. No shame, no judgment, just real solutions. So if that sounds like what you need today, stay with me. My dear friend, let me ask you something. Have you noticed that things feel different lately? Maybe your energy in the morning just isn't what it used to be. Maybe you wake up feeling like you barely slept, even after a full night in bed. And maybe, and I say this with complete kindness because I see this every single day in my practice, maybe your erections aren't as strong or as reliable as they once were. If any of that sounds familiar, take a slow breath right now because you are not alone. Millions of men just like you are going through exactly this after 50, and there is absolutely no reason to feel embarrassed. This is biology. This is the body changing, and more importantly, this is something we can actually do something about, together. What surprises most of my patients is that they've often been carrying this quietly for months, sometimes years. They assumed it was just age. They assumed nothing could be done. But here's what I tell every single one of them. The fact that you're here, paying attention, asking questions, that already puts you ahead. Because the men who give up are the ones who stop looking for answers. So today I want to share something I've been recommending to my patients for years. It's simple, it's affordable, it requires no prescription. It's a warm nighttime drink, and by the time I'm done explaining the science behind it, you'll understand exactly why something so humble can make such a meaningful difference. Here's what most people get wrong about aging. The changes you're feeling, the lower energy, the softer erections, the restless sleep, those aren't happening because you're just getting old. That's far too simple and frankly, not very useful. What's actually happening is more specific, and because it's specific, we can address it. While you sleep, your body is doing something far more active than resting. Your brain is consolidating memories, your immune system is running repair protocols, and, critically for the men watching this, your body is producing and regulating testosterone. It's repairing blood vessels. It's doing deep cellular maintenance that simply cannot happen while you're awake. I like to think of it this way. Imagine your body is a building, and every night a maintenance crew comes in to fix the plumbing and make sure everything works properly for the next day. What happens if that crew shows up but doesn't have the right tools? The work doesn't get done properly, and the next morning, things start to break down a little more than the day before. That's what's happening inside many men over 50. The nighttime repair process is being disrupted, and when it's disrupted consistently, night after night, you feel it. In your energy, in your mood, and in your sexual performance. Now let me tell you about something I check for in nearly every male patient over 50 who comes to me with these complaints. Magnesium. Such a simple mineral, and yet study after study confirms that magnesium deficiency is remarkably common in men over 50, and most of them have absolutely no idea. Why does this matter? Because magnesium plays a role in over 300 biochemical reactions in the body. It supports the relaxation of smooth muscle tissue, including inside blood vessel walls. It helps regulate sleep cycles. It supports healthy testosterone metabolism. And when levels are low, which they often are as we age, everything starts to feel just a little off. Sleep becomes shallower. Energy feels harder to sustain. And circulation, which I'll come back to in a moment, can suffer in ways that directly affect erection quality. One of my patients, a gentleman in his early 60s, came to me frustrated and honestly a bit defeated. He'd adjusted his diet, cut back on alcohol, exercised more, but still felt sluggish every morning, and his intimate performance had declined significantly. When we looked at his nutrient levels, magnesium was low. We made a simple correction, and within 3 to 4 weeks, he came back and told me his sleep felt deeper, his morning energy had improved noticeably, and things in the bedroom were starting to feel more like they used to. He couldn't believe it was that straightforward, and I told him what I'll tell you now. Sometimes the body just needs the right tools. But magnesium is only part of the picture, because there's another factor that sits at the very center of erection health, and far too many men overlook it. I'm talking about blood flow. An erection is, at its most fundamental level, a circulatory event. Blood flows into specific tissue, that tissue fills and expands, and an erection forms and holds. If blood vessels are healthy and flexible, and the body is producing adequate nitric oxide, the natural signal that tells blood vessels to relax and open, that process works the way it should. But if the vessels have stiffened, if circulation is sluggish, that process becomes less efficient, less reliable, and over time, noticeably weaker. Think of garden hoses. When a hose is new and flexible, water flows freely. When it starts to stiffen and narrow, the flow drops. You can turn the tap all the way up, but not as much gets through. That's essentially what happens to blood vessels as men age. And the genuinely encouraging news is that this is not irreversible. Vascular function responds to the right inputs. The body wants to repair itself, it just needs support. This brings us to something I find genuinely exciting to share because it combines everything I've just described into one simple habit you can start tonight. The hours just before and during sleep are actually the most powerful window for supporting vascular health. Blood vessels naturally begin to relax as the body shifts toward rest. Growth hormone, which supports tissue repair, including blood vessel walls, is released primarily in early deep sleep. If you can support the body during this window with the right nutritional inputs, you're working with your biology rather than against it. There are natural ingredients, things you likely already have in your kitchen, that have been studied for their effects on circulation, vascular relaxation, blood sugar balance, and sleep quality. Ginger, cinnamon, raw honey, warm water, and magnesium glycinate, one of the most bioavailable and well-tolerated forms of magnesium available. When you combine these intentionally, at the right time of night, you're giving your body's overnight repair crew the tools they need to do the job properly. Remember, this is educational information, not a substitute for medical advice. If you're experiencing severe symptoms, please see a qualified urologist right away. But for the vast majority of men, these foundational natural interventions make a real and meaningful difference. Now that you understand what's really happening inside your body at night, the repair window you may be missing, the deficiency quietly working against you, and the circulation factor most men never address, I want to show you exactly what we can do to change this. But first, I need to warn you about a few common mistakes that quietly undermine everything, even when men are trying to do the right things. The first mistake is one I see constantly, and it breaks my heart a little because the men doing it genuinely think they're relaxing. I'm talking about alcohol before bed. A glass of wine with dinner, a beer while watching the game, it feels harmless. It feels like it helps you fall asleep. And here's the cruel irony. It does help you fall asleep, but what it does to your sleep after that is where the damage happens. Alcohol disrupts REM sleep, that deep, restorative stage where your body does most of its hormonal work. Even moderate amounts within 3 hours of bedtime can significantly reduce sleep cycle quality. Your body spends energy metabolizing the alcohol instead of repairing tissue, regulating hormones, and doing the vascular maintenance we discussed. And testosterone production is particularly sensitive to this disruption. Studies have shown that even a week of poor sleep can meaningfully reduce testosterone levels in men. I'm not telling you to never enjoy a glass of wine again, but give yourself at least 3 hours between your last drink and bedtime. That one shift alone has made a noticeable difference for many of my patients within just a few weeks. The second mistake is eating a heavy meal late at night. When you eat a large dinner close to bedtime, your digestive system activates fully. Blood gets redirected toward your gut, your core temperature rises, your insulin levels spike, and all of that activity works directly against the rest and recovery your body is trying to enter. Think of it like trying to wind down at the end of a long day, and then someone hands you a large stack of paperwork that must be finished before morning. That's what a late heavy meal does to your body's systems. My recommendation? Finish your last significant meal at least 2 to 3 hours before bed. Your overnight recovery will improve noticeably, and the nighttime drink I'm about to share will be significantly more effective on a lightly settled stomach. So, let's talk about that drink. Here's what I call the nighttime vitality drink. And I want to be clear, This is not a magic potion. I'm a physician and a scientist, and I don't believe in magic. I believe in biochemistry. I believe in giving the body specific inputs it needs at the right time in the right combination so that it can do what it was designed to do. Here's what you'll need: 1 cup of warm water, not boiling, just comfortably warm, half a teaspoon of ground ginger, half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of raw honey, and 200 milligrams of magnesium glycinate in capsule form alongside the drink. If you enjoy citrus, a small squeeze of fresh lemon is a lovely addition with its own mild circulatory benefits. Stir it together, let it sit a moment, and drink it slowly 30 to 60 minutes before bed, 4 to 5 nights per week. Let me explain why each ingredient earns its place. Ginger has been studied extensively for its effects on circulation and inflammation. The active compounds support vascular function and help blood vessels respond more efficiently. Many of my patients who include ginger regularly in their evening routine notice a gentle warmth, improved circulation in their hands, feet, and extremities. That warmth is real. It reflects increased peripheral blood flow. Ceylon cinnamon, specifically Ceylon, not the common cassia variety on most supermarket shelves, supports insulin sensitivity, meaning it helps your body use blood sugar more efficiently overnight. Blood sugar instability is one of the quiet enemies of both energy and erections. It disrupts sleep cycles, suppresses testosterone, and contributes to vascular inflammation over time. Keeping your overnight metabolism stable is one of the most underappreciated things you can do for your long-term sexual health. Think of it as keeping your car's fuel system running clean and steady rather than lurching between full throttle and empty. Raw honey provides a gentle, slow-releasing source of natural sugars that support liver glycogen storage overnight. Your liver uses glycogen to maintain stable blood sugar while you sleep. Without adequate stores, your body may release cortisol in the middle of the night to compensate, and cortisol is not a friend to testosterone. A small amount of raw honey before bed helps buffer this process and support more stable, uninterrupted sleep. And magnesium glycinate, bound to glycine, an amino acid with its own gentle calming effects on the nervous system. It's absorbed efficiently, well tolerated by the gut, and taken at night, it works beautifully with the other ingredients to prepare the body for deep, restorative sleep. Together, these ingredients form a genuinely synergistic combination. The ginger opens the vessels, the cinnamon stabilizes the metabolic environment, the honey supports the liver, the magnesium relaxes the nervous system and vascular walls, and the warm water itself has a mild vasodilatory effect and signals to the body that it's time to slow down and shift toward rest. As always, this is educational content, not medical advice. If you have a known health condition or take medications, particularly blood thinners or diabetes medications, please speak with your doctor before making changes to your routine. Now, the mistake that undermines everything we've just discussed: expecting results overnight. The decline you're experiencing didn't happen in a week. It happened gradually over months and years of subtle deficiencies and slowly stiffening blood vessels. Reversing that process takes time and consistency. What I can tell you, based on what I observe in my practice, is that most men begin noticing meaningful changes after 3 to 4 weeks. Better sleep quality is usually first. Then morning energy improves, and then, quietly and gradually, stronger morning erections, more reliable function, a return of something they thought they'd lost to age. One of my patients came back after about 5 weeks and said simply, "Doc, I feel like myself again." That is what this is really about, not a clinical outcome, a man feeling like himself again. Now let me bring everything together into a simple evening routine you can actually use tonight. Start with a light dinner, satisfying but not heavy, finished at least 2 to 3 hours before sleep. After dinner, take a short walk, 10 to 15 minutes at a comfortable pace. This stabilizes your post-meal blood sugar, encourages gentle circulation, and helps your nervous system begin transitioning out of the higher alert state of the day. The men who build this habit consistently tell me it changes the quality of their evenings noticeably. 30 to 60 minutes before bed, prepare your nighttime drink. Sit somewhere quiet, drink it slowly. Treat this as a deliberate act of taking care of yourself, because it is. Then dim the lights, step away from your screens. Blue light actively suppresses melatonin production, and even 30 minutes of screen-free time before bed can meaningfully improve sleep depth. Read something, sit quietly, let your mind slow down. Then, lights out at a consistent time. Your circadian rhythm governs when testosterone is produced, when growth hormone is released, when blood vessels undergo their deepest repair. When you go to bed at wildly different times each night, you disrupt that clock. When you commit to a consistent sleep and wake time, your body learns the rhythm and optimizes everything around it. Aim for 7 to 8 hours. Sleep is not laziness. Sleep is medicine. And the final habit that in my clinical experience accelerates results more than almost anything else: manage your stress deliberately. Chronic low-grade stress that so many men over 50 carry quietly is one of the most powerful suppressors of testosterone and sexual function that exists. When your body perceives ongoing stress, it produces cortisol. And cortisol and testosterone exist in almost direct opposition in the body's hormonal hierarchy. The men who make the most dramatic improvements are almost always the ones who address this piece seriously. A few minutes of slow, intentional breathing before bed. A simple gratitude journal, just 3 or 4 sentences, which research consistently shows shifts the nervous system toward a calmer state. Whatever form it takes for you, treat your mental and emotional state as just as relevant to your physical health as the food you eat, because it is. Let me speak to you directly now, the way I speak to patients when they've finally let down the guard they've been holding up for months or years. What you're dealing with, the fatigue, the changes in sexual function, the quiet loss of energy and confidence, none of that is permanent. None of it is inevitable. I have seen men in their late 50s, their 60s, their early 70s make real and meaningful improvements in exactly these areas by doing exactly what I've described today. Not with expensive procedures or pharmaceutical shortcuts, but by understanding what their bodies actually needed and consistently providing it. Your body has a remarkable capacity to repair itself when you support it correctly. The vascular system responds to the right inputs. Sleep responds to the right habits. Hormonal balance responds to the right nutritional foundation. You are not broken. You are not past the point of improvement. You are simply a man whose body is asking, in the only language it has, for a little more support. And now you know how to give it that support. So here is my challenge to you. Tonight, try this. Make the drink, take the walk after dinner, put the phone down 30 minutes early. Go to bed at a consistent time, just tonight, and then tomorrow night, and the night after. Give it 3 weeks of genuine consistency and pay close attention to how you feel. Your sleep, your morning energy, the strength of your body throughout the day. Track it. Notice it. Own those improvements when they come, because they will come. If you're going to try this tonight, go to the comments right now and type, "I'm trying this tonight." Because there is real power in committing out loud. And if this video helped you, if something I said gave you genuine hope or a practical tool you didn't have before, please subscribe to this channel. This is what we do here every single week. Simple, honest, evidence-informed strategies to help men over 50 reclaim their strength, their energy, their confidence, and their vitality. No gimmicks, no shame, just real information from someone who genuinely cares about your well-being. You deserve to feel strong. You deserve to feel fully alive in your body, at 50, at 60, at 70, and beyond. I'll see you in the next one, my friend. Take good care of yourself. You're worth it.